Hey guys, it's Adam Prioletti here and welcome to another YouTube video. This time we are going to be exploring dynamic creative testing. You might have heard of the 3-2-2 method out there. This is kind of similar, but with a little bit of a difference. So stick around, we're going to get into it nice and deep. And if you've got any questions, let me know below, but make sure you like and subscribe as it definitely helps the channel and I always appreciate it. As you know, I don't mess around, so we're going to get straight into it. What is a DCT? A DCT is a dynamic creative test. Why do we use them? So we use dynamic creative tests to lighten the load on us. We let Facebook do the work. Why do we want to do that? Because we don't want to spend all of our time testing specific ads one by one. We want Facebook to do the heavy lifting for us. What's the main benefits? Well, the main benefits are that Facebook does the heavy lifting. Back in the day, media buying used to be you put lots of different ads in, you test the copy, you test the headline, you test the creative, a lot of different methods. With this particular one, it takes all of that stress and strain out of it and lets Facebook do all the heavy lifting for you. Let me explain. How a dynamic creative test actually works is, in this particular method, is we're going to take 3 creatives, so that's videos or images, we're going to take 2 copies, and we're going to take 2 headlines. Obviously, copies are going to be your text, headlines are going to be the headlines that the customer sees just before the call to action. Now, these 3 creatives, 2 copies, and 2 headlines, they're going to create for us 12 combinations. 3 times 2 is going to be 6, 2 times that is going to be 12. With this dynamic creative test, we're going to be taking 3 creatives, 2 of these copies, 2 headlines, and that's going to create 12 ads. Why 12 ads? Well, 3 times 2 is going to be 6, times your 2 is going to be 12. What happens is Facebook is going to take these 12 combinations and feed it to your audience. Facebook serves this and tests it against people and then finds out which one has the best estimated action rate. What is an estimated action rate, you ask? It is the likelihood of somebody taking action off the back of your ad. If you're looking for conversions, Facebook is going to try and find you conversions. If you're looking for leads, Facebook is going to try and find you leads. Us as the media buyer, the advertiser, we can then have the least amount of friction to then find us the winner. As soon as we have that winner, we can then put the time in to then scale this effectively with budget. How do we know if it's a winner? We need to confirm if it fits within our KPIs, and you can do this by analyzing the data. We only want to keep ads on that are winning and within our target CPA. If you're not sure about target CPAs, I have done another video on that and you can have a look and go through, and that is cost per acquisition. If after testing it fits within our criteria and target CPA, we can then increase the budget on the ad. If it doesn't, we can then kill it and continue to test. My advice when it comes to testing is not to get emotionally attached. Just follow the data. When it comes to testing, we have to have a very data-driven approach. If the data is good, we want to keep the ad. If the data is bad, we want to let it go. Don't be emotionally attached to the different creatives that you've created. So advice and steps here. Create your 3 creatives first, then your 2 copies, then your 2 headlines. We're going to create a testing campaign using ABO, Ad Set Budget Optimization. Just for ease, what we're going to do is name it in this order: test number, the date, the targeting, and the product. So for example, here we have test number 1, today's date. We're going to be targeting the USA and we're going to be using the Flame Diffuser. This is just an example product that I've picked from a supplier, got the images, created some copy and some headlines just to show you how to implement this step by step. In this example, we're going to be using the Flame Diffuser. These creatives are ones that I've picked off of the supplier site. Very nice, very easy. Yes, they are slightly different from each other, but it's because it's an example and I just want to show you how to implement this strategy. Here's the 2 copies and the 2 headlines we'll be using. As you can see, we're testing a long form against a short form copy. Inside of that, we have our creative offer, we have our hook, and we have our content. We also have our headlines, which we're going to test. One is going to be the offer and one is going to be the product name. Results are going to vary from product to product. Some accounts this works really well with long form, some other accounts it works with short form. Same with the product and the headlines. So without further ado, let's get into it and I'm going to show you how this works. Now we're going to be using a nice old sandbox campaign. I'm going to be creating this campaign step by step with you. If you have any questions, again, please do let me know in the comments and I'll go through them with you. So first we're going to create our campaign. We're going to go to sales because we're in e-commerce and that's pretty much the only one we're going to use. We're going to have a manual sales campaign and then we're going to name it testing campaign. Now, because we're using ABO, we don't have to turn CBO on and we can go straight to the ad set level. Here, remember that naming convention, we're going to be going 01. We'll put today's date, which is going to be the 15th of the 9th, 2023. We're going to be targeting the USA. and we're also going to be using the flame diffuser as the product. You don't have to follow this naming convention, we just find this easiest to keep track of what we're testing and how long we've been testing it for. Make sure you've picked the right pixel, and we're going to go for a purchase. Now, some gurus will tell you to go to add to cart, go for add payment info, maybe even go for an initiate checkout, but we would say always go for purchase. Facebook is going to give you exactly what you ask for, so don't be surprised if you choose add to cart, you get very little to no purchases. We're now going to scroll down and click on dynamic creative and continue. Usually we'll have the budget at a minimum of 100 a day. Reason being, if you do anything less than that, it's very unlikely you're going to see a good result or any result of much use. Remember here, Facebook is testing 12 combinations, so it needs enough budget to be able to test these effectively per day. We're going to scroll down and we're going to change this from United Kingdom and we're going to put that to the United States. Now we've done that, we're just going to move over and start the ad process. We're just going to call this ad 1. And as we go down, we're going to select our images. You can see here, I've got the 3 images ready to go, popped in. If you need to upload yours, that's absolutely fine. If you're going to go for videos, use videos. If you're going to go for images, use images. Generally, we find in e-commerce that videos work a lot better than images. Generally, UGC is the highest performing creative that we find, gives us the best click-through rate, the lowest CPC or cost per click, and then we would pretty much focus in that space over images. Generally, we'll then turn off optimized creative, and the reason being is I've had some quite negative effects from the optimization. I appreciate Facebook is trying to help, but sometimes it puts the headline into the copy and it doesn't look very good, or alternatively it can add different colors behind images or even videos that just don't make sense. Now we're going to choose our 2 primary texts. Remember, we have that long form and we have that short form, so I'm just going to grab mine and copy and paste now. Okay, copy that over into the first primary text, and then we're going to just make sure that lines up quite nicely. And then we're going to add another text option, and we're going to get the short copy there, and we'll pop that in, make that look good. And then also we can add our headlines. So we'll just go over and add our first one is going to be our offer. This is usually find the offer one does really nicely. So if that wins in the creative test, we'll then change it and put it against something else. Just going to add a headline option there and pop that in across. Perfect. Then you'd obviously fill in your website URL, and then you're ready to go. Make sure to add any UTMs that you need to. If you're using something like Triple Whale or Hyros, just make sure that the tracking comes through correctly. But what we do find is most of the data that is going to be useful is going to be within the Facebook ad platform. Now what you can do is publish and let it run for 1 to 2 days, and the aim will be to reach 8,000 people. That's going to be 8,000 impressions. Generally, if your CPMs are high, it's because of the audience you're targeting or the quality of the creative you've presented. What you have to remember is the audience in Facebook are not there to watch your ads, they're there to be entertained, and your ads are actually a bit of a nuisance in the feed. So the better your creative is, the better the CPMs are going to be for you. If your ads are performing well, you can increase the budget incrementally. We would increase the budget depending on the results that are coming back. If the ads are hitting within our KPIs, we'll comfortably scale the budget either 20 to 25% every 2 to 3 days. In the scenario that the results are continuously profitable, we'd even increase the budget daily. If we find that the budget is increasingly profitable, we'd most likely increase the budget every few hours. The reason being is when you have a winning formula, such as the product sells and the offer is good, the creative is the last part of the puzzle that needs to work. When it comes to scaling that particular product and offer, what you need to do is go broad. Open targeting is going to be one of the most scalable tools in your arsenal, and this is how we've made multiple 6 and 7 figures for multiple businesses. When you have a winning product and you have a winning offer, the creative is one of the most important levers that you can pull. This testing method we found has been successful over and over again and has really helped us scale. 6 and 7 figures is on the horizon for you, and if you have any questions, pop it down below in the comments. Make sure to like and subscribe so you're notified of any new videos, and I'll see you on the next one.